Hey guys, I'm just gonna check for a second that I'm live. Alright, I think I'm live. Good. Here's 90. If so if one way is not empty but two is empty, then we can say one way. But yeah, if two is one way is empty and two way is not empty, then you can do that. Yeah, if they're both not empty, then that's ambiguous. So So we have false true now, true false, false false. What about true true? If they're both empty, I think maybe we can just say, should that be an error actually? We cannot. That's ambiguous also, but it's a different kind of ambiguity, because this is ambiguity in the sense that they both exist. Well, we can use the same stuff, so we can say ambiguous migration direction, either, both, either, or neither. So we can do that. I mean, either, both, or neither. This can be a bit confusing, because what I mean is, okay, I don't even need this word there because of my coffee. Both or neither both on either one way and two way file types. Use one or the other. Okay, that seems okay. So I can also have like true. Yep. But in that case, don't we have this case now? We have false true, true false, false. Then I'm expecting this to be unreachable. Let's take it out. Yeah, I think. Yep. Improve migration detection. Let me be sure that my stuff, the sound is good. Okay. Hi guys, how are you doing? So search. I mean, technically we can just probably do something like, since we've already implemented partial compare and stuff for never. I just, that's not worth it. Okay, what's that? Can I move out? Oh shit, reference. Could we do that? I don't wanna. Why does that return? Oh, yeah. These returns a reference. Can we? Okay, can I move out of? Oh shit. So this FN mutes. 6K, not referenced. K ordinal. So I mean, we can let's do that first. Search by. We could also, let's see, we do search. Oh yeah, this is not gonna be. That, get into that, take that away, divide by Let's see. Let's see this. This is one way we could who did that? Did that? That's a reason vector now. Yes. Yep. That panics because migration file path does not exist. Yep. I see when you're trying to have both, and I see why that is happening. That is because I see one way. I'm feeling lazy to write commit messages today. I'm just gonna chill. Yep. Let's push that. Let's see what could be going wrong in those two places. But first First, let's see. Migration file path does not exist. So what path is that? 2023, blah blah blah. Let's just copy all the way. I know my new Vim is messing up a little bit, so let's try to actually restart. Let's make sure everything is in order. Waiting for Rust Analyzer to load, but we're getting to a good spot. I did a little bit of refactoring for how the file names are handled, and I'm actually pretty happy with this refactoring. So I'm just trying to get this migration stuff done. And one thing that came to mind is which I might actually implement. Let me be sure my mic is not off. Okay. So one thing I might actually implement is give the ability for you to imagine if you start out with two-way migration bidirectional, so it means support up and down migration. I can also create like two things I'm looking to support is for you to be able to migrate towards one direction or unidirectional migration, so supporting only up migration basically. Then the second thing is resetting, so basically dropping the migration schema registration table in the database, dropping the migration directory, and basically just starting afresh. If you for some reason you mess up your migration totally, I think it's just better to like start it afresh. So I'm looking to implement reset, and I'm also looking to implement the conversion from two-way to one-way migration type. Okay, so we're getting the error here. Migration path does not exist. Okay. That's coming from tests. Doesn't exist. Create new stuff. Oh, I see. Why is it trying to read that though? It's a one-way directory, so okay, I think now where could we look? Let's look unidirectional. Yeah, search that. My path does not exist because it's trying to read that, but that's quite interesting. Let's see. Try from string. Try from string. 0 again. Let's go check. Version 5 does not exist. We search for a directory. That's because it's using this format. Oh, I see the problem now. I see unidirectional. Yep. That was because I just blindly copied that, so that fixed that. Yep, so it's fixed now. Fix migration type error. Yep, so it's fixed pretty much. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's check the CLI module. So now we support generate, up, down, list, and prune. I'm gonna do a little bit of testing, especially for like prune. See there. So delete unapplied migration files. Let's check that. See, we can simplify something here, and I think we probably can simplify some stuff. Let's take this and revert that back. Take 10, remove that. So here we're getting migration directory, of course. One migration. Get unapplied migration files. And actually, yeah, I'm considering something. We probably see migration config. Because technically we only really need let's see where we're using this. Because we don't need it full thing, but let me check the implementation details. We are only using the file name, it seems. Because pretty much here we're using just the timestamp, and that's what here also we're getting dependent migrations. For that we're only pretty much using the name, which we can get from the file name, and are we using any other metadata like the content especially, or checksum, or perhaps we might need that in the future, or again pending migration? No, we should just have a check separately. I'm just looking if there is a room to simplify something a little bit here. Strange. see if we could simplify some stuff. So get pending migration currently relies on that. I think it's also a good idea to just use the minimum you need, like. So let's experiment a little bit. Get migration there. Text type. I mean, it would be a different thing if we could, because we're checking inside of these. Let's support 12 pub into inner. So yep. I don't want to dereference that, so we say into inner. Then we might be able to say is that defined actually? Let's go. That defined info manager. Okay, migration file names itself. So we can it's not a file manager, but it's a static method. So I mean, technically we can do something like file manager. Do we want to have access to it? Get or migration. Get migration file names. Oh, it's actually an associated function, so we can do get migration file name, and this would give us well, let's first do this, we'll sort it out later. This gives us that we can just do that, and so this gives us file names, and with that you can probably tell these to just take like file names, migration file names, yep, and wait, from that well, I think we can leave it the way it was, because it does seem like we're utilizing. Okay, yeah, probably better file contents. I just wanted to play with that to see, but it looks like we are good. Because technically we can do something like we can get let's say one way we can get through the file names. We can say unidirectional, right? And we can say two-way bidirectional. And if we want the metadata, this gives us the file name. We can do this, and this we can do this, then we just need to pass there. Let's pass reference. Let's pass reference to that. So yeah, we do the same. So this gives us that. This gives us this. But we want the pending ones, right? So really what we can do is, if we have all the file names, we can just get pending migrations. I think what I can do is change that to pending migration file names. But before that, let's just play with these migration file names into so this need that, and now that this gives us our migration, what we can do is let's just call this file name. You can say file name get the timestamp, and oh yeah, this is option migration, so we can do file name and then yeah, we probably okay to return migration file names. That. So I guess we can just do. Are you talking to me? No, I'm just streaming. Yes. You can do like self-dead cake pending migrations. So we pass all the file names and I'm just experimenting to see if we can come to a better API. So this will be like filtered pending file names. We have one way, two ways. This already gives us a migration, so which we wouldn't need these anymore, right? We wouldn't need this anymore, all this. And the beauty of that is that actually this, which was why I was trying to look in this direction, technically we even we might, but yep, we can just do pending file names into inner, and yeah, we may say file name. We don't need that anymore. We don't need that anymore. So this gives us path for one, but let's see path. Thank you. Yep. So okay. I mean, which approach is better? You can argue that we're doing less work here, so it's better. But I guess you can go in either direction. So we get all the file names. I mean, depending. This gives us all the file names, and you know what? We might as well just pass the config there. Get migrations file names. I might want to say get all migration file names, because that's what we're doing here. Yep. We are not discriminating, but so we can call that get all migration file names. But I'm just still experimenting, so I might discard all these changes. Yep. Let's see. I have to change stuff in a few places. Yeah, it's expecting the file name. But one thing we might actually do in this place is we could consider, rather than we're passing in the migration file names, but what we can actually do is pass in the migration config. So you just do then you sort of just take that and put that, and you take you do that. I'm not sure we even need that here. Couldn't convert. What? Okay, yeah, we can then say migration results. Let's just clone this for now. then you go down a little bit, and yeah, you pass in maybe config instead. Yeah. So I mean, you can make the argument for either approach, and you know what? Pending migration file name. Yeah, this is it. This is it. This is it. And yeah, it is. When we're getting the pending migration file names, we're not discriminating. So essentially, we don't even have to do to up or to down. So this means we could just get all the pending file names, delete this, right? And we just say path, and yeah, we don't even have to we could basically just do the join file name. I think it implements display. Yeah, well, we can just do their name, file name to string, and we don't need to flatten. We could just take this, put path, done, and that's it. Because this now gives us, you know, I'm actually thinking, okay, we're using it in a few places, whatever, because now this gives us the pending migration, right? Just the file names, and from the file names we're basically just joining in, because now this is not discriminating. It's like it could be up or down or whatever. So let's see where else we might need to fix something. But migration config, I think it captures file. I don't even know. Was that even necessary? Why do we have migration config and file manager separately? But anyway, we're gonna come back to that. So what we could do is, I'm pretty sure you can convert that into file manager. So rather than taking migration config, although we can do no, let's still see passing file manager there, so we can do implement into file manager, and we can do, well, make config yep, yeah. I wonder why I even introduced this migration config. I mean, probably I can't think of something. It's already used in a lot of places. But anyway, implement from file manager. Can implement migration config, and yeah, Yep. Yeah, so let's see. Yep. I mean, technically we might just clone that, but I don't want to clone it. That is gonna work. So pending migrations, yeah, we do into inner. Or really, we don't even have to. We can delegate that function, so we can basically do maybe empty. Also, we can delegate that. Thank you. And you know, yeah, I mean, we can just do is empty. So that does it. That way we don't need to do this anymore. Let's see where else. Delete. Where are we using this? Yes, fair enough. We can also do like into inner. Net. Okay, so in fact So here we could just do floor manager, then editor migrations, go to finance, copy the rest. Oh yeah, actually, although this actually makes the function less flexible, you really think about it. So I might actually revert that because I think the first approach lends the function better to like testing and stuff. It's easier to test because we're just passing the data rather than the configuration. And we don't have to mock anything. Well, it was fun. It was fun experimenting. And we can go this way, just be done since we have the sunk cost fallacy, right? Let's just follow it through, and we're taking reference to it already, so we might as well. We don't need that. Into inner first. Pending migrations. Was I drunk when I was writing this code? So I'm getting pending migration. I'm filtering. I continue to like. Oh yeah, I see. It's until something. I see, and I don't want to use take while because take while is not inclusive. It doesn't include the current up to the element. It's before the element, and that was why I did this. That's fair enough. Fair enough. Let's actually see. Pending migration, so that would be but that gives us the name, and we want to run, we actually need the content here because from the content we get a checksum, so we're gonna read that anyway. But yeah, that was just an experiment. I was curious to do. So maybe I can stash experiments. was a fun experiment to do. So pretty much I think this is good. What I'm gonna do now, basically, I'm gonna test the pending and basically every of the command. So we have everything working, I believe. Let me check. Okay, so I'm gonna try to test the prone command this time around and see what we get. Zero deleted. Okay, interesting. And I would like it to, because it's it should delete at least 3 files also. So the problem, I can explain the problem to you. I did a previous implementation and I did like a prone, and it only deleted all the up migration because there was a bug. But if you notice, this first one has both up and down, but these last 3 don't have up, right? But now I'm trying to implement prone in such a way that whether or not it has up or down, as long as it's a pending migration that has not been applied to the database, which means the timestamp is later than the latest timestamp in the database, just delete the file. That's what I'm trying to do now. So you look at the log here, it's saying that there are no pending migrations, which is interesting, and I think it might be failing silently somewhere. So let's go check where we might not be having that. If we go check the pending, get pending migration implementation. I keep forgetting. I need to do a lot of refactoring actually. Okay, let's close that. Pending or delete unused migration. Delete unapplied migration. At least it should be right here. So I just need to look at the implementation. And here, honestly, I think we don't even have to do all these. We could probably just do into inner. And we have migration there into. Oh, we already discarded everything. My bad. Into inner. So we do into inner, and we get all migration files. Don't create it. And that's all we need actually. But pending wants the metadata. So what we're gonna do, anything that can be converted into migration file. let's check the definition of migration file. So into migration one way with content, or migration two way. But you know what? Get pending migration. We could have also get pending migration file name, because that's all we need here pretty much. So this gives us the latest, and yeah, I like to have this first, and I need to do it in the other place also. Then yeah, we just pass in the config, make config, and say me migration config, and that we can do make config into inner and get all migration file names. And it doesn't matter if it's okay. Yeah, we can change that to migration results, and then this would then be file name directly. File name. We don't even need the conversion, and this could just be file migration file name. I would reckon we return the wrapper stuff, so we can get more benefit out of that. And with that, we don't need this conversion file name already, so we don't need that. We can take that off, and this we can just convert that. I believe that should be supported. So now this gives us that so we can just do self.get pending migration file names, person db, then migration config. Yep, let's pass reference to that. Let's just clone for now. Or I mean, let's do we need to clone? Oh, into inner, not eater. Whatever. Let's just. I don't want to do. Or should I dereference that? Because I could implement. No. I could do that for sure. What was the path to the rest and that? Totally forgot that. And my LSP is messing me up. So, okay, ops, yep. Ops, the ref. Bam, 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 bam. Ouch. Ops. So with that, we wouldn't have to clone here. We don't need into inner, and migration config. I'm not sure we want to do that here actually. but at least here we don't need to do it anymore. So this gives us the pending migrations, and we can call this pending pending migrations. So file names, let's just remove that. So now we can take that away. It doesn't matter if it's one way or two way, we just want to remove it all. And I think with that we can just do pending migration file names. This could just be, okay, this returns a result, and you know what, why don't we just chain it directly, or are we using it down here? Okay, we might be using it, so let's keep it. But anyway, that returns a result, so let's just, and I believe future also, no, okay. It returns I mean it's async, so we have to await that. Good. So we're getting the file names directly, which means we could just do, let's rename that to file name, and we have the name directly, so we can do that. And what else? So pretty much we have all the path, and we don't even have to do this anymore. We could take these, bam 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 bam, and we can remove this because we're just trying to delete all the pending migration. We don't care if it's one or two. I mean technically we can detect the migration type and delete it, but I don't think that's necessary. So we get the path, and we go through everything and we delete. So path and the navigation path. Shall we list them here, or we just say the numbers of pending migration path? And yeah, rather than printing, we should log properly. So we do log dot info deleting blah blah blah. Or maybe this should be, yeah, I think this is quite helpful information to have, so I'll keep it. Unapply migrations, good, blah blah, whatever. We can always improve that. Deleting this, blah blah blah. And actually we're already logging that here, so we probably don't need this. It's noisy. We're doing it at each iteration, so that's not necessary. And migration path, I think we can just do mag path string. We can do mag path to string glossy. Yep, so that way we don't have to, and maybe to string here. First, let's remove that. Clone on rights, cowboy. Let's see if we compose. I'll still fix all the PRs, the commit rather. So let's try to run again. Let's see if those files will be deleted. I just like the fact that this is more like straightforward. Yep. So as you can see, it says this was deleted, this was deleted, this was deleted, right? Now let's go check. So about 5 of them were deleted. Second, it does seem like it's loading twice, but there should be 3 actually. 3 deleted, 3 on applied migrations. Second empty, update empty, and empty markdown. So if we go check, let's see. As you can see, it's deleted all those that have not been applied to the database now, rightfully so. But that begs the question, why wasn't this pending deleting, right? That's because the way it handles it is a little bit different. Oh, thanks, Vin. that's why this channel is called Code Breather. This is literally everything I do every day and night. But thanks, I take that as a compliment. How are you doing today? Where are you chatting from? If we check this now, let's refresh. As you can see, we have only one migration. So I actually take when you have like up and down migration, I take them as a pair and not like separate, like up or down. Like I take them as the same. So we have the checksum for like the up migration, we have checksum for down, and then the name could be up, because really we don't need to store like down, because we can always convert up name to down name or to unidirectional one. And also really at the end of the day, even if you have like two-way migration, you usually just run the up migration. Like you need to only store the metadata, you don't need to store like the name of the down migration, right? Because the down migration could be converted in bidirectionally. Like what's that called? We have the transitive, we have the reflexive, and we have symmetric. Yeah, so the symmetric conversion between those two. So now that we have that done, I think one thing we could do is test orders. So we have, if we do like cargo run, let's do clear. Did I hang? We can do cargo run and see all the commands. So we should have like run, we should have list, we should have up, we should have down, we should have lists or ls, then we should have prune. So now I'm thinking of implementing reset and maybe convert. Okay, then we have generate. Generate also has the alias gen. So we can do cargo run blah 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 gen. If it's two-way, like reversible, you just do like R, right? But if it's one way, you don't need to do this. But look at something. If it's two-way, so we've already generated like up and down migration, and you're trying to specify one way, so you do something like, let's say this. It should throw an error if things go well. it doesn't. So we need to fix that, because I did some I just did some refactoring. So if you check this now, this is problematic, at least in my opinion, because now can I make this bigger? Now this doesn't have the up or down suffix, right? So we need to fix that. And we can go here now, and let's just bring this this, and you refresh, there should be 2 or no, so it's probably failing silently, because there should be 1 more here. So we need to go there, and what do? Let's go to rollback, generates, generate rollback queries on file path. I'm sure with the implementation I've done today, a lot of things can be simplified a lot. Let's make this file path string lossy. So with that, you can just take that off, take that off, and actually this can just be that, right? Oh, string. Yeah, that's, we don't need part buff here, we need just the string format. And yeah, we can do yep. So delete that, space it up a little bit. Yep. Let's roll back. Space it. And that's what they call technical debt. So basically generate, right? Let's check the CLI. Generate. Let's go. We get the names, blah blah blah. Basically we're preparing the metadata. So the idea is, when you're trying to get like 2 I'm thinking of maybe just implementing a check separately. That would make it easy, rather than, I think these shouldn't probably do all those checks themselves. Like if you go to generate migration, you shouldn't be checking all those, like if there is valid blah blah blah. You should just generate migration, right? And oh, we're actually not implementing a check here. So we can have a function called check. So when you're trying to generate a 1-way migration and a 2-way migration, I think it should complain, right? Or what do you guys think? Let me know what you think. I think it should complain that you're like, so you know that you're making a mistake. So I need to refactor this module. This is 252 lines. This is almost 700 lines. I don't like having 2 large files. 600 lines. 822. Not that bad, but it can be better. So yeah, I think we should implement some kind of check. And And you know what I was actually thinking? I have a function called like detect migration type. So after you generate the first one, you do it the first time. Subsequently, it doesn't even matter. You shouldn't have to put it. But I'm thinking, should I have like initialize? So the first time you generate migration, I don't know. The first time you do migration init, then subsequently you can just do like generate. Then it's gonna auto detect it, so you don't have to pass on the flag every time. I think sacrificing the initial passing of flag, like reverse, if it's reversible or not, is worth it. Well worth it, because then subsequently you don't have to say if it's reversible or not, because we can auto detect that this is a reversible migration. Like one, it supports both one way and both up and down, or it's just like unidirectional. So I think the upfront setup of doing like init is worth it, because subsequently you don't have to pass the reversible flag, right? So this is what I mean, and we can implement it real quick. So if I do like let's just do init migrations, and we call that init, and let's just do init. And in fact, when we're initializing, might we need something else? Maybe not. Let's check here. We can just copy that and yep, let's go that init migration, and is init. So the first time you initialize, you can say what the migration name should be, reversible. So with that, we can remove this here, and what other config I will put in here? Verbosity migration there. Okay, and I even think for the subsequent ones, can we auto detect? Okay, yeah, let's leave this as is. Name of first migration file, because there could also be two-way. Is the word unidirectional too complex? Because I feel like it's the most befitting. So if I say unidirectional, so I can say like up only, or bidirectional, like up and down migrations. Yep. So with that, we can pretty much do let's go down a little bit. I don't know, we can probably improve this, but anyway, for now let's leave that. My LSP is letting me down, but it's okay. You need yep. So it's pretty much this, but yeah, rather than doing this, because it doesn't even exist anymore, we can do make type, and we can do like files config detect migration type. and with that we can do make type. All right, this is gonna be, we're gonna have to use pattern matching here. Make type. Let's copy that and yep. So we can pretty much take that and we put that in here, stick it in to a then take one way from there and just put it in there. Yep. Let's then just remove that. Great. And here we're gonna do something a little bit different, and to make our lives easier we're gonna change this first to generate back, so that I can just let the LSP take care of the renaming. So I'll do init here. I mean, we can definitely create this into like reusable cell functions, but so let's push that some support init mix. Yep, great. So guys, now we're gonna have to start afresh. Like, the beauty of this now is like when you let's do cargo run, so we should have like maybe 4, 5, 6 commands thereabouts, and let's see what we get from this now. To plug in my phone a little bit. Yep, so we've got init, right? And I mean, we can do like if migration directory isn't empty, we can say it's already initialized, because you shouldn't be able to I guess what we can do is let's do files config get into inner get migration file names, create if it exists, because the idea anyway, migration of files, I mean, we can clone that for now. So basically the idea is if this returns, so get migration files is empty. Okay, what does this return? Results, just do that, then is empty. So the idea is, what does this return? I mean, we can pretty much just panic. Okay, anyway, we can do if let let's match actually. So basically we can say if it's not empty, it doesn't have to be an error. We don't even have to panic there. We just have to can we break there? Okay, that should be within a loop. We just have to return, right? So I guess we could do so if it's not empty, we just say migration already initialized, right? Because it means we've been able to find valid migration files, right? So it means it's been initialized. Otherwise, or we can just say fail to get migration files. Yep. So if we try to initialize now, let's do cargo run. We've not even tried it at all, but we try to do cargo run init. Right, this time you have to specify the flag. If you don't, so let's do now. By default it's gonna be one way, right? But we're expecting this to actually tell us that it's been initialized already. So let's see. Oh, it's expecting a name, of course. So we can say name or n, whatever. First thing. Let's run it. So now it's telling us, should we make it a warning? I think it's probably better so you can know, because making it an error doesn't make it very obvious. I mean, it's not destructive, but I think a warning would be probably better. So let's see. It should tell us it already did, which is good. So you know you're going to only initialize once, and subsequently you don't need to pass in the reversible flag. You can just run and it automatically detects what kind of migration file migration you're using, which I think is a good thing. It saves you the stress of having to pass -r every time. So it tells us migration already initialized. Great. So what if we do cargo run up now, and no, actually that's not what we want. We want to do cargo generate. We can do cargo gen, just cargo run cargo run gen. Let's just do that. So now we don't need to pass in that flag. It just automatically does the right thing. If we go here now, it generates 2, right? But let's go into that. As you can see, this is a down migration, and if you go up to the next, also actually there's a new migration file called checksum. But the nice thing is, if you run this again, it's gonna tell you it's able to detect that this is empty. There is no diff anymore, like nothing has changed in your code base. And then it tells you, are you sure you want to generate an empty migration? You can tell it no, then it does nothing. So we go back now, we check, there are no new migrations generated, right? But if we go back now and rerun, and then we tell it yes, do that. So it generates 2 new migrations anyway with the same name but different timestamps. Great. So let's do cargo. Let's go in here first. You notice we have only 1 migration, so let's try to do cargo up. With passing all the relevant. So it tells us running for migrations, but actually the right thing would be to say it's running two migrations. So if we go to technically, you're not running the down migration, you're only running the up migration. So we can do apply or run pending migration. So technically, yep, yeah, running migration, we would have to detect automatically if we want to make it smarter. So we want to know if it's one way. So we can do filtered migration. We just have to somehow figure out that. So it's a migration file content. Anyway, we'll come back to that. But let's refresh this now. Oh yeah. So as you can see, we have newer migrations. This. Let's check the name. Can we? So we've got this. Update migration table, different one, update migration table, different one, update migration. That was because we didn't drop the old ones in the first place. So yep, I think one thing we might also consider apart from this is how do we want to handle this kind of scenario whereby you delete some migrations, you create new ones, and you run them. So now there's a mismatch. I'm actually looking to create like a chain that the next hash takes the previous hash into consideration. That's one thing I'm looking to consider, so that we can validate that the chain is valid. So if rather than taking the hash of the current file, of course, something else I can do is get the migration from the database and get the one from the directory and check that each of the ones we're checking the checksum, that the timestamps also match chronologically. That's one way to undo that. Or I can take anytime I generate a new migration and apply that, I can take the checksum of the previous one and hash that with the checksum of the new one to form a chain. But I think this is a good place to relax a little bit and take some sweet break. Or what do you guys think? Should I continue streaming? So let's see. In this we can detect run pending migration, but actually we actually want to run either or. we don't want to run both, because otherwise that's problematic, right? Yeah, let's see where we're using this strategy. I think we want to pass in the migration type, because otherwise this could be an issue. Get up, and also the queries to register. Yep. Right, run up pending migration. Let me set this up in a way that is more comfortable for me. Oh, crazy. Yeah, I feel much better relaxed now. Yep, let's check that pending migration. But anyway, let's do the rollback. I think it's gonna be problematic because of that. Now we have an invalid change, so let's do like cargo run down, and prune means like delete the file after you're done. So I want to do like so there are different strategies. You can tell it to roll back until certain file, or like back up to a number. So let's like roll down, roll back the last 4. Let's see. That's interesting. Don't I support that? Oh, yep. Until support that also. I wonder what I'm not supporting in here. Am I doing that here also? Yeah, probably should do something like this there also. But so the first one is late previous, but I guess previous is gonna like clash with is it password or something? But anyway, let's just do a short here, and I think it's nice to support shirt here. Also support shirt. Support that there. So this conflicts with numbers wonder if this is gonna throw, because this is meant to be previous. Let's complete. Let's try something. Why don't I try N, and at the same time let's do like P. Let's see what we get. Nick, so we're using it for both past and previous. Of course, I was speculating on that. So we're using it here. Should we always require you to pass in P as password? And you user. But anyway, yeah, I think it makes sense not to maybe support it for latest and for previous, and I'll tell you why. Do you want to know why? The reason is, anyway, for P and latest, like those are the defaults, so you don't need to specify those anyway. You wouldn't have to be passing it, which means it's not necessary. Where's down? Baby, yeah, you down, 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 down. Yeah, this is the default, so we don't need to do it anyway. So let's do. I'm just trying to test multiple flag collision because they are mutually exclusive. I mean, technically you can use N, you can just do N1 is the same thing as previous, technically. Yep. Google specifying. Yep. Come on down. Actually, this should be previous. Let's rerun that. Yep, so it gives us much better error. The argument number cannot be used with previous. Perfect. So you have to use either or. So let's do n minus. As you can see, there's a checksum mismatch, and which is where you would want to do like cargo reset, and that's why I'm still contemplating if I should do some kind of like more checks to make sure that the chain of like up and down are like valid. And one way to do that is, of course, that might introduce more complication, but one way to do that, like I said earlier, is to include the checksum of the previous migration with the next one, right? But first, let's prevent argument. Yep. So let's implement reset. That probably makes sense here. Reset migrations. Could we also have the concept of soft reset and hard reset? So I feel like we can have a reset that resets to the latest valid state, or that reset to the like beginning. So that's something we can definitely do, but for simplicity's sake, delete or migration files, migration table, reinitialize this migration. So reset. Let's just copy. So here resetting, I guess you don't need all this. And maybe you don't need you're gonna need runtime config also. I think I could probably make all these like, I'll tell you what I mean later. Okay. Yep. probably want to improve the way I'm doing this. As you can see, I didn't even do that here. Okay, I did down here. Did I do it here? No. Okay, I did it in list, but I still want to improve that. Anyway. Okay, set up that. We have merge. Let's complete the text migration type. Migration flag. Yep, something like that. Then we do but I don't trust Copilot, so it's not really generating any like technical reasonable code. It's just using the boilerplate of what I've created before, so we can follow that format. And resetting, we can then implement like the resets. Let's copy that, and whatever the error case. Yep. So we can implement reset migrations now. And I think we might not even need to like discriminate here either. We can just have like this is generate run pending reset. That would entail we just need to delete the migration table, recreate it, and then we delete the migration directory, recreate it, and call reinitialize. So we might not even need to create a new function. We might not need to create a separate stuff, honestly. But then maybe you might need to specify reversible also, so that's what you want to reinitialize it as. We don't need all this. So what we're gonna do, actually I'm gonna put a to do here. What we're gonna do now is make all these like associated functions. Like this, we could go to init just to implement init and execute or run. So we can put that here. Well, we can get that from self.name, self.stats. And you know what? We can actually just, the beauty of this is now we don't even need to pass that as an argument. We can just do this. We go file config now here. Do self.reversible. But of course it has to be an async function. So all we need to pass is really code-based resources. Yep. Why is it trying to move that though? Reference, generate migration name. Right, text that. Into these. I mean, that's just another way of cloning. You know what? Like, for example, here. Do I really need to make sure? Could this be a reference? It looks like it could be. Oh. What can this just take? Whatever. I think this should be called custom there, but I'll do that later. So my new bin config doesn't mess me up. Cloned. Let's just pass a reference. Yep. So yep, we've got execute. So rather than this, we can just do init execute code-based resources. Oh wait. Yep. Encapsulate init command. Great. So now that we've done that for innate, I think this is more readable. Let's do the same thing for like generate, and we're just gonna copy all that to implement generate. We might even make this into a trait so that we can just pretty much just call like executes on, but anyway, we'll do that later. Let's just tap out. I don't want to rely on this. No way. Take that out. But yep. So set the name. No, I'm just going to generate cursor. Yep. Yep. So we can just go here and do generate pop. Yep. Encapsulate generation implementation. Okay, this one is gonna be a little bit different because this actually does need the notes. Okay, I guess we can just call the function. Yep. So next, just do execute. Then this you can just. Did you do something? I don't trust it to do the right thing, so I'll do it for it. From dot execute create it's options implement list. Yep. Man, let's just use yeah, and even the status I might whatever. Let's see. This client should be cheap enough. Let's take it there. Yep. Status should be anywhere. Actually, we should be able to implement copy for status, right? So let's do copy. And why do we have a default there? So with that, we don't need to do this. I think we wanna have it explicitly anyway. And we can remove that also. Delete. But we can have default status there. List migration. Okay, yeah, it could. If you don't specify the status, we can just maybe list the pending alone, or all. And that's probably gonna be a lot. But I think it's better to just status total. That could slip in a bug if we just allow that. Status dot all. Let's remove that. Why aren't we using code-based reset? Oh, yeah. We only need this actually when we're generating, so we can remove that. I believe same goes for others pretty much. Let's check down. So we don't need the either. That's why you don't want to use things blindly. Let's have that there for a while. So what about stupidity? That's here, and it there, and it there, remove from there, pending, remove from there, paste, remove. Didn't we do for down already? Lastly, reset is going to be a little bit interesting. And caps. commands. Yep. So this reset is gonna be a little bit different. Yeah, we have the config. I mean, from the config we can get migration there, right? So we have the directory. We need to drop that. Then we need to rerun initialize. So I'm wondering, we could do like init execute, but there is no self here. We don't have access to init, but perhaps we could do init.new. Do you want to implement a converter? No. I think we can just spell it out because it's still not that crazy much. So you can say init config and do init just do something like that. Yep, so from reset we'll get the name. Doesn't it have that? Okay, we pretty much want let's go to init. Yeah, we need these other arguments here. You're gonna initialize. You need to specify this. Name of source connection to initialize to then to reinitialize as yep. I mean, we can actually with this, I think we don't even have to do this anymore. We can do a test with this. So it also acts as a raw stock. But first, I think we can probably just reset okay, we can implement the converter, but just do it one by one. So reset that name, reset that reversible, reset that shader, and so we just do init to yep execute so execute that. Just clone it. Oh, I see it's happening. Okay. First, remove. We can just leave a one. We can do if that error. Okay, this returns the results. So let's if we're able to get it, I mean, we can just do let's pattern match that. If there exists, we'll remove it. Fail to remove directory, otherwise we can then say else. Yep, thank you. Remove that. So one there doesn't exist. Let's remove the here. And shouldn't we need a DB here? Yeah, we definitely need the DB because we want to run a query. Drop migration schema table and recreate the table. So let's do so let's check migration meta migration let's see. I think we can do, it's gonna be remove table, right? Remove table. I probably should move this more like upper. Create row. So I need to pass in the up and down checksum. Let's say we're using it currently. So we can implement like pub drop, and that takes drop table raw or remove. Drop is more popular to people, but actually it's, should I use drop table? Remove table. Drop seems more like scary, which is probably what you even want. So migration table name, it's gonna be remove table. So we wanna, I should actually be supporting dry run. I've not been supporting dry run, so I guess that's something to keep in mind. And we haven't implemented lists. Anyway, so, and this should be implemented as a transaction, I think. So once we've reinitialize, we need to get once we reinitialize, we need to recreate the table, and okay, we initialize, that generates it, and we need to recreate and run, right? Since we anyway need access to the database. But actually, when we're reinitializing, we would want to drop the old table. So I don't know. Migration. No, I'm just gonna call that maybe reinitialize table. So that entails create transaction. So the first thing we're gonna do is remove the table, then recreate it. Pretty much recreation means let's see, So let's do begin transaction. Query. The first one would be this. Query, define table, query, define field, and then create that. And after that we commit transaction. So here we can actually implement, query transaction. What was it? Transaction completion. Yeah, we can just return transaction complete. Then that exported. Let's see this. Transaction. Let's see.